Hello and welcome to today's program, Off With Their Heads, a program about deadheading your perennial plants. I am your host today, Christina Reed, horticulturalist with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service here in Lubbock County. I hope you've been following along with our program that we've been putting on bi-weekly for you via our Aggie Horticulture Facebook page. But if by chance you haven't and you've missed some of the last 37 episodes, you can find all of them here on our Aggie Horticulture Facebook page or on our Aggie Horticulture website coming across your screen now. I would also like to take a moment to introduce and thank my Aggie Horticulture agents from across the state that are on live right now to answer your questions in the comments box. So if you have a question during this program, please feel free to go ahead and type it out and one of the agents will get back with you. Let's take a few minutes to see where you're watching from. If you would, please comment in the comment section where you are currently located. Awesome! It looks like somebody from Lubbock County is joining us. Yay! I'm so excited to get to share with you guys today about deadheading. Oh, that reminds me. I want to take a special second to say a big thank you to the Lubbock Memorial Arboretum for allowing us space to film today. Throughout the program, you'll see some beautiful shots and beautiful gardens that are all located here at the Lubbock Memorial Arboretum. If you're ever in Lubbock, Texas, I hope you will stop by and see our friends here at the Arboretum. Thanks so much. Gardeners plant most flowers for their bright, colorful displays, the high impacts that they make in their landscapes, and for wildlife. Perennials are the hard-working, reliable backbones of your floral display. One way to keep them in flower is to plant long-blooming varieties. The other is deadheading. Deadheading is the removal of spent or finished flowers from a plant. The tools you will need are pruning shears or snips. I also prefer to wear gloves. Deadheading, or literally cutting off the flower heads, keeps perennials tidy, controls seed dispersal, and redirects a plant's energy from seed production to root and vegetative growth. This maintenance practice can be done throughout the growing season from spring through the fall. The best time to deadhead a plant is when its flower appearance starts to sour. The frequency in which you will need to deadhead your perennials depends on the lifespan of the flowers, which can range from a day to several weeks, depending on the species. The environment also makes an impact on perennial flowers. Flowers in moist, cool temperatures will last much longer than in the sweltering heat. Heavy storms and wind also take their toll on blooms. Choosing the exact point to make a deadheading cut can seem frightening and confusing since different perennial plants have different flower forms. Here is a tip I hope you will remember. Prune spent flowers and stems back to where there is a new lateral flower, bud, or growing point. If you cannot locate a flower or bud, the growing point could be a leaf. For instance, take this Gaillardia, also known as blanket flower, here in the sensory garden at the Lubbock Memorial Arboretum. This mature plant is well into its second, if not third bloom this season, as you can see beautiful fresh flower faces. You can also see spent flowers that have begun to fade and now serve as the seed source. I follow the spent flower's stem all the way to the next lateral growing point like this and make a quick cut. The normal life cycle of a plant has a goal of producing seed to continue the species for generations. If we interrupt the cycle by deadheading and removing the seed source, the plant will try again to complete their genetic program with a new flush of blooms. This Shasta daisy's appearance can really be tidied up by removing the flowers that are past their prime. Not only does this poor plant look rigid and burned, it also reminds me of the heat here in West Texas during the dog days of summer. Again, by following the spent flower head stem to the next growing point, in this case a lateral leaf, you are opening up the plant's canopy to better allow airflow and reduce the disease pressure on the plant. Plus, a nice neat mound of green is much more attractive than hundreds of brown stems and decaying flowers in your border. Perennial plants grown for their foliage, like lamb's ear, also need deadheading. Removing the non-showy flowers really encourages new vegetative growth and allows the foliage to be the focus. In my opinion, the flower stalks really detract from the beautiful silvery blue textured foliage of lamb's ear. So, off with their heads. What do you think? Make sure to watch out for the buds on lamb's ear. They tend to grow on flower stalks as well. While these sunflowers are not perennials, their size best allowed me to show you an up-close and personal deadheading technique, following the spent flower head back to the growing point, in this case, a stem. Daylilies are a popular perennial in both home and commercial landscapes that I often hear criticized. They just don't bloom frequently enough, is what I hear a lot. Variety can play a big factor here, but again, deadheading can help with reblooming. Daylilies are pretty simple to deadhead because their flowers grow on scapes, or stems that grow directly in the middle of their foliage. So you can cut the scape right off without fear of cutting too much of the plant. Don't forget, deadheading is a garden chore that the whole family can help with. Just be sure to supervise young children with sharp objects. Also, cutting blooms to bring indoors counts as deadheading, so bring your pretty blooms inside to enjoy.
So that's about it. If you want the biggest bang for your buck out of your perennials, give deadheading a try. Please remember to join Aggie Horticulture every Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time here on our Aggie Horticulture Facebook page. We will be live with our shows. A special thank you to all of my agent cohorts across the state who helped with the comments and answer y'all's questions today. And again, a big thank you to the Lubbock Memorial Arboretum for allowing us to film throughout their grounds today for this program. I hope everyone has enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Until next time, bye from Lubbock.